Visiting with David Coale. So, David, Justice Samuel Alito has issued another extension of a decision on SB4, I guess. What does this mean? I guess extending the temporary restraining order?
Yeah, so the state of play coming into today was that the Texas law could not be enforced. Judge Ezra, trial judge in Austin, held that it was not constitutional for Texas to enact SB4. The Fifth Circuit stayed that and said the law could go into effect, and then the Supreme Court weighed in and said, no, wait, everything stay right where it is. Texas law doesn't become enforceable until we have a chance to consider this a little bit more. And it then gave itself an extension, and then today gave itself another extension, and it did so exactly at the deadline that they had said earlier. That was 4 o'clock Central. Like about 5 minutes after that, the order came out giving itself an indefinite extension now. So we know two things. We know three things. We know that the Texas law, SB4, cannot be enforced right now, and it cannot be enforced for the foreseeable future. Another thing we know is that the Supreme Court has stopped putting dates and times in their interim stay orders. This one is indefinite. And I think it's because a lot of drama built up today with people making plans for what's going to happen at 4:10, what's going to happen at 4:15. This takes that off the table, takes some pressure off the court, lets them do their job and reflect a little more effectively as to what they need to do. The other thing we know is that this is obviously turning out to be a difficult decision for the Supreme Court. There is, on some of the issues in this case, there's precedent from the U.S. Supreme Court that's right on point involving other similar state laws from Arizona about 10 years ago. But it's been a while. The makeup of the court has changed. And there's no doubt a lot of pretty serious internal debate going on at the court about this, which is why they've had to extend this deadline twice now. So this is turning out to be an issue that is maybe more complex than people thought it was on the front end. And it just suggests that at the end of the debate, no matter where we go with this case in the next few weeks, the U.S. Supreme Court is going to end up dealing with the merits ultimately.
Yeah, because this new extension could literally stay in place until the Fifth Circuit hears the appeal.
That's right. We have to remember this is all kind of very beginning of the game type stuff. The lawsuit was filed. Judge Ezra issued his ruling, and the Fifth Circuit is taking up the appeal of that ruling. It has a panel of 3 judges that will hear argument early April 3rd in New Orleans. So this order that we're talking about today is what's in place from now through when that Fifth Circuit panel that hears the case in April issues its opinion, which could be shortly after that, could be a month, could be a couple of months. It's the ruling for the very beginning of the case through the resolution by the Fifth Circuit. And so we're not even to the appeal of the merits yet. This is all just still orders on the front end. And even that is turning out to be very difficult at the highest court in the land, such that they have had to deal themselves a couple of extensions to fully think through all the issues. So it is possible that the Fifth Circuit overtakes this, that the panel comes out in April, comes out with a decision and rules in such a way that it doesn't really matter what the Supreme Court said here. Guaranteed, though, everybody's going to be right back in front of the Supreme Court again, asking for it to become involved. These delays signal that this issue is important and controversial to the Supreme Court. It's going to get involved sooner or later. There's just no other way to explain these deadlines coming and going. And today, where they were obviously trying to do something else leading right up to this deadline and issued another stay extension at the last minute. That wasn't plan A. You can just tell that.